Hi everybody, and in today's video I am going to show you how to create these mini box, mini bag, packaging ornaments, and this is part 2 of our two-part series of creating these ornaments. This is going to be the assembly of putting these ornaments together, so if you haven't checked out part 1, be sure to go over and check that out. As always, please subscribe, like this video, and share with a friend who you think may enjoy this adorable ornament tutorial, as it really does help support and keep my channel running. So to start off, we're going to need some fake flaky snow, a fillable plastic Christmas ball, and I am using the size 3 inches. That is the size that these boxes and bags will fit in. And then you're also going to need some 3/8 inch ribbon so that we can wrap this around the Christmas ornament to secure it all in place. You'll also need some thin 1/8 inch ribbon in the color of your choice to coordinate with your packaging. We'll need some fabric or ribbon cutting scissors and a high temp hot glue gun. And then lastly, you'll need a blue or green Cricut mat and your print and cut design. Also, I forgot to mention mini bottle brush trees. So once your design has been printed, you're just going to go ahead and adhere it to the mat before loading it into your machine. Now, if you have the scoring wheel, you can go ahead and load that first into clamp B, but I'm going to be using the scoring stylus, so I'm going to load that into clamp A and press go on my machine. So what the Cricut is doing here is what we talked about in part 1. It's just going to go ahead and read those registration lines so that it knows exactly where it needs to score and cut. And if you followed along with part 1, you will know that it's going to score all of your lines first, and then it's going to cut them last. So once the machine is done scoring and cutting, you're just going to go ahead and remove all of the cut pieces off and away from the mat. And after, we're just going to begin to fold along all of those score lines. Now, I'll let you just watch me do it here, but it's pretty simple. All of the score lines are actually going to be mountain folds, except for 2 of the score lines on the bag, which is going to be a valley fold. So if you don't know the difference between a mountain fold and a valley fold, a mountain fold means we're going to be folding down and away from us, creating little peaks. And a valley fold means that we're going to be folding upwards towards us, creating little V's. So the only valley fold that we're going to have on all of these bags and boxes is right here on the side of the bag. There's 3 little lines, and the line that is in the middle is going to be the valley fold, and the other 2 lines on the side of the bag are going to be a mountain fold. And that's it. It's pretty simple. All of the lines are pretty much mountain folds except those 2. And then we're going to begin to assemble all of the pieces once we have our score lines folded. And again, this is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go over gluing every single line, but I'll let you go ahead and watch here if you need some assistance. But I'm using a high temperature hot glue gun, and I'm using just a very, very tiny amount of glue to secure everything closed. The only tip that I do want to give is that if you are using a hot glue gun, you might have some of those little annoying hot glue gun strings, but you can just easily pull them off and away once you're finished. Then you'll just repeat it to the other side, and this is what it will look like. So next up, we will just go ahead and fold all of the score lines for the bigger square rectangle-ish boxes. And again, I'm not going to do too much talking. I'll let you enjoy the music and just go ahead and watch how I fold along all of the lines. Again, they're all mountain folds. There's no valley folds on these boxes, and we have 2 of them, so you're just going to go ahead and repeat the same exact folds and gluing process on the second one. For these larger rectangle square boxes, you will close up the bottom first with all of the tabs on the bottom, and then you're going to make sure that you glue the tab that is connected to the side of the box first before you completely close the bottom of the box up. Now we're just gonna add some ribbon to make it kind of look like a high-end gift box or a present. So you're just gonna go ahead and add some glue to the side of the box, and then you're gonna flip it and add glue and tie the ribbon around the other side of the box so that they kind of crisscross in the middle. Then you'll just repeat those same exact steps for the second square rectangle box, and you'll begin to work on this smaller square box, which is literally the same exact thing. We're just going to go ahead and fold all of the score lines, and we're going to close up the bottom first and attach glue to the side tab before completely closing the entire box up. Now you can see coming up here that I kind of messed the bottom of the box up a little bit because the box was leaning a little crooked. So if that happens to you, don't even worry about it. Just carefully take the box apart and re-glue the bottom tab so that your box isn't crooked and it's more stable. If it's on the bottom, you're not even going to be able to see that once it's glued down in the ornament. After the ribbon is glued around the box, we're just going to create a teensy tiny little bow and cut that off, and then glue that little bow right on top in the middle of the two ribbons that crisscrossed right into the center. So next, once everything is assembled and glued together, we're going to go ahead and stack all of the boxes and the bag together, starting with one of the larger square rectangle boxes, and then the square box kind of shifted to the side, and then another one of those square rectangle boxes, and then the bag is going to sit diagonally on top of that very last square rectangle box. So to complete our stack, I'm just going to take a mini bottle brush tree and I'm going to rip the base off of the bottom, and then there's a tiny little hole on the base square rectangle box that I'm going to just kind of open up a little bit, and then I'm going to shove the mini bottle brush tree down inside and hot glue the sides of the tree to the boxes to secure it. And one of the last steps before adding the snow and closing it up, I just added a tiny bit of hot glue to the corners of the very bottom box to keep the bags and boxes secured in the ornament so that they're not shifting and sliding all around. And then lastly, to help hold the ornament shut, I'm just going to add a drop of glue to the left, the bottom, and the right, and tightly wrap that ribbon around the seam of the ornament to not only hide the seam but to help keep it secure so that it doesn't bust open, and then just tie a little ribbon and hot glue that to the top. So I hope that these videos were helpful. If you didn't see part 1, be sure to go over there and check that out. And as always, please be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share with those who you think might want to create these adorable ornaments. Thanks, bye!